live.
And then right there shows the amount of people.
I don't want to click on anything that I'm not supposed to. It's my first time. Give me a second. Hey guys. Oh, I see people writing. I'm such a newbie at this. Hey. Oh my gosh, so many hays. Hi, sunshines. I'll wait a little bit, I guess, to start talking and stuff, catching up. All right. Hi, so I'm using my webcam. We had, I was planning on going like official with you guys, going live for the first time with my camera and everything, hanging out with you guys and chatting and all, so that's like good quality, like the rest of my videos, but it wasn't working out. It's actually not that simple to go live with a camera and all the stuff you have to connect. I'm not a big techie person, so Manny was doing a little research on how to connect it and everything, and we bought HDMI wire. Didn't work, so webcam, but it's not so bad. It's not that bad, right? The quality. My windows, Casey Baker. Hi, Casey. Yes, I love my windows too. That's why we chose this apartment actually, because of the windows. There we go. It's so cool to like see you guys talking to me live. This is going pretty fast. When am I going back on my Spanish channel? I really want to go back on my Spanish channel. It's tough right now. It's very tough. Because I'm already like not consistent, as you guys can see on my main channel. But my goal has always been to have at least a video a month on my Spanish channel. And voy a regresar pronto. How was your experience with cloth diapering? It was good. I'm on and off with it. At the beginning, it was just strictly cloth diapering, but now it's like on and off. I go from disposables to cloth diapering, and it's always great to know that I have them there, and I don't have to ever be like in a rush to get disposables. But yeah, I do both right now. Thank you guys for the compliments. My goodness. I got ready really, really quick, and I don't have foundation on. Well, I have powder foundation on. What I meant is I don't have concealer on. Where's baby Alma? Alma's over there with Manny. You guys will see her in a second. And Manny will come in a second. Yes, I have a lot of plants. I have a ton of plants, and I want to get more. Manny gets upset about how many plants I have. Yes, we live in America. I am a New Yorker, but we live not in the city of New York. We live in New York City. Alma's doing great. Little Manny is doing great as well. We just finished having dinner. So this is a perfect time to just chat with you guys for maybe half an hour and catch up one-on-one, more personal. I don't live in California anymore. I used to live in we moved to California in 2015. We were only there for a year. Until this day, people swear I'm from California. I'm from New York. We were only there for a year. Can you make a video on how to go into an organic lifestyle? Victoria, yes. That's actually a video I'm editing right now. I'm editing a video called 6 ways to transition into a natural lifestyle, covering like all the important topics. So that should be out very soon. That's what I'm editing at the moment. Do we plan on moving again? Yes, we do. We are considering moving again. We don't know where, basically that's why we move a lot. We don't know where we want to settle, and we look into like the best places for our son, Manny, especially, looking at laws and everything, doing research on everything and seeing what the best place is for us to settle in and possibly buy a home in the future. But that's also why we haven't bought a home, because we want to make sure that wherever we buy a home is a place where we're going to stay. What did I have for dinner? Manny cooked, and he cooks most of the time, and he made meatballs. It was, I think, lamb meatballs, and he had spaghetti with his, no spaghetti with mine, because I try my best to avoid wheat. So yeah, just meat, straight up paleo, keto for me today. But I don't do it. It's not an everyday thing for me, but I try to do that the most. Hi from Germany. Hi from New York. Do we live zero waste or try to? We don't live zero waste. I can't say that like strictly, but we implement a lot of the zero waste things in our lifestyle, like reusable bottles. We're all about that, reusable everything. Just overall trying to be more mindful and cautious of not just consuming and buying things that are not reusable and that we can't repurpose, and that we're just throwing out and adding to garbage. So in that way, yes. There's a girl I love named Lauren Singer. I absolutely love her. And she has a store in Brooklyn, here in New York, called, oh my goodness, I forgot what it's called. But she has a really cool store in New York, in Brooklyn. Damn it, I forgot the name of the store. Well, look up her channel. Her channel is Trash is for Tossers. Trash is for Tossers. And her Instagram is Trash is for Tossers. And she has a super inspiring account on YouTube and on Instagram. She has a store, like I said. Something about life with plastic, something like that. I don't remember the name of the store. I might be butchering it. But it's a really good store. Package Free Shop. That's what it's called. You guys, somebody said package. So yeah, that's what it's called. Package Free Shop in Brooklyn. Look at Alma. Yeah. Yeah. You see me? You can see me. Manny's here too, carrying Alma. It's so weird for me to see like all these comments pop up. You missed the vlogs. We are going to start vlogging again. That's actually one of the things that I was going to talk about here, vlogging again. And if you guys were interested in seeing some vlogs. Oh, the powder foundation I'm using that I have on right now is the Alima Pure powder foundation. It's like my go-to thing. I did a video called Life Update, Catch Up, Get Ready With Me routine not long ago, like maybe a month or two ago. And it's the one that I have been using. Sorry, I got distracted, so I started talking really slow. What do you like?
I'll answer whatever there.
It's going really fast. Perfumes. Yeah, there's actually there's not that many non-toxic perfumes, but from the research I've done, there's about 3 companies that I think are legit non-toxic, and they're available actually at Keto Beauty and Filane. I know I've talked about Filane on Instagram. Filane and Keto are 2 stores that I absolutely love that are only clean beauty and non-toxic items only. So it's a website and a store that they have here in New York, and We also have other locations around the United States. So it's a store that you could basically trust that you can go into and everything's going to be clean and untoxic. So they have a few options for perfumes, and one of the brands that stick out to me from the top of my head is Fleur. It's PHLUR, like floor or Fleur. Thank you for the compliments.
Hey, Shanika. Shout out to Shanika.
Monica.
I think that's her name.
I don't know where you're looking at it. I can't see.
It was up there.
I try to avoid saying people's names because I often butcher names and I don't know if it's spelled the way it sounds. Thank you. They said Alma's cute. They're saying you're precious, you're cute. So thank you. Thank you. Cod liver oil. Yes, I've mentioned cod liver oil in my pregnancy routine, the one that we use, the brand that we love, and I've talked about it in my food haul. If you guys haven't seen those two videos, and it's Green Pastures. That's the one that we use for ourselves and Alma. For cloth diapers, the brand I used to use, well, not that I used to use, I still have them, was Bum Genius, was the one that I was using from the beginning. But then recently, Manny's cousin's wife gave me an Alma as a gift, Grovia diapers, and now I really, really love those. I like them more than the Bum Genius, so that's the brand that I really like. When I just had Bum Genius, I was all about Bum Genius, like, oh, these are great. And then when I tried the Grovia ones, I was like, oh, these are better. Yes, this is our home.
You put in my email there, right?
Okay.
You wrote it?
No, it did not read it. You're writing a lot.
Yeah, I read it.
Oh, okay. Oh, the ones that say Santos
No.
Alba. Okay. Good answer. What TV show? What?
They asked if I was a professional chef.
He is a professional chef. He is.
Far from it.
One thing that you guys that obviously don't know about me is that I'm really into cooking, but I just need to devote more time to it. I've been obsessed with like baking and cooking and watching tons of videos. One of my favorite people to watch, I've been watching her since we lived in Sheepshed, like 2013. I've been watching Laura Vitale for a long time. So I pretty much do everything she does except with my own ingredients, my own brand. So I just go off of what the steps that she's doing, but I buy my own ingredients. My own clean ingredients is what I'm trying to say, like brands that we trust instead of the ones that she's actually using. Somebody said, what shows do we watch? We love Game of Thrones. I know there's a lot of fans of Game of Thrones out there. Raise your hand if you're a Game of Thrones fan.
The chat is going quick. Sorry if I'm slow.
I know, I'm like trying to read and like look at you guys at the same time. I missed a question. I was like looking at something.
Real quick, someone asked if we watch Endgame. We watch all the Marvel movies. Endgame is the Avengers.
Yes.
And we just don't go to the theaters.
So we have to wait till it comes out.
Yeah, we don't bring our son. Well, even before Alma, we haven't brought our son to the movies for a while.
Before Alma, we would go to the movie theaters once in a while together. We would leave my son with one of our parents to babysit.
Yeah.
Oh wait, what's the snake symbol in Game of Thrones? Targaryen. Is it Targaryen? No. What's the snake symbol in Game of Thrones?
Good night, Faisal Muhammad.
That was your cousin's name. What shower filter do we use? We have two different shower filters. We have the Berkey and we have a different one, but the one that I've always been promoting, which is also great, is the Mercola shower filter. And someone asked about plants. Check out the Sill. The Sill is just thesill.com. And also their Instagram account, the Sill. Yes, Mama. They have amazing information on plants and a shop where you can shop for plants, and they also have organic options for plant accessories and things like that. Why don't we go to the movies? Just because we're so, we have our son. Everybody knows our son is diagnosed with autism, so we're very devoted to just most of the time just being with him ourselves. So when we don't really go to the movies, when we used to go to the movies before Alma was born, it was like an occasional thing, like once every few months. And then now that we have Alma, she's just so tiny and she's not used to really staying with anyone. So that's why. So I'll wait for her to be a little older for us
You
to
can say hi, baby.
go out more often.
You can show them like that.
Alma is still breastfed. We are 1 year, we're 14 months strong, I think. 14 months, right? Yeah, 14 months.
Someone asked how to maintain a child without vaccine, healthy products and food. Some healthy. Healthy things. How to maintain? Okay, you repeated it. Everybody has their own definition of healthy, right? You hear all these trends.
Okay, hold on. Let him answer. I'll be right back. I'm just in the theater.
Welcome to Manny's live stream, guys. Yeah, everybody has their own definition of healthy, right? So I don't think there's one thing that fits all. Everybody has to just trial and error, figure it out, build your immune system. It all depends on whatever you were exposed to in life, blah, blah, blah. Maybe someday I'll come out with a diet and sell it to you guys. But somebody asked, would you consider being a vegan family?
I was going to say to answer that. No.
No, I did vegan somewhat for like a few months. Alba, I think she did vegan in the past.
No, I did vegetarian. I was never vegan. Can you say that?
She said she was never vegan. She did vegetarian. I've done parasite cleanse. Filter, sink filters in the kitchen. Yes, Lacey. We use Berkey for the shower filters. You can find them on Amazon. And there's for a sink filter, we used to use reverse osmosis. You have to install it, and we keep moving from apartment to apartment. There's whole house filters, reverse osmosis. It takes out a lot of the bad stuff.
Let them know that we
And then, yeah.
deal with Aquatru now.
So now Alba has been promoting one that we found, I think a year and a half. It's called Aquatru. She wasn't affiliated with them at all. And then recently they reached out, and Alba's trying to do some type of giveaway with their water filter. You don't have to install it. There's no drilling or anything like that. You plug it in, and it's reverse osmosis.
They've seen it in my videos.
Yeah, if you guys seen it in her Instagram. Tony says, tell Alba thank you. She inspired me a lot. I'm so grateful. Now a Shea Moisture partner. She's a Shea Moisture partner now. That's from Tony.
I said congratulations.
She said congratulations. How to use apple cider vinegar for weight loss. Guys, there's trends on YouTube. Don't fall for them. They are, It doesn't mean apple cider vinegar can make you lose weight, right? But it's not the only thing. What's causing you to gain weight? It's not going to be, you have to find out the cause, address that, and then, everything else is going to be bonus. I use apple cider vinegar every day. We love apple cider vinegar. Parasite cleanse, Sani. So there's a bunch of theories on parasites, but science has proven that we all have parasites in different forms. And when you get into it, it's a dark hole. It's very scary. But look into parasite cleanse. Black seed oil. I have an MCT oil black seed, and I put it in coffee. It just tastes disgusting. But I'm hearing that it can address candida and all that stuff. Damaris is from New Jersey. Hey, Damaris. I hate driving in New Jersey. Nice people here, though, but New Jersey, driving here is horrible. Tell Alba I said Happy Mother's Day. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. It's not, so in Dominican Republic, they don't celebrate Mother's Day the same day that they do here. Fun fact, I just learned that.
People are about to get really mad at you. You're about to.
I just learned that.
So mad at you.
Do you guys read a lot? I didn't used to. Now, yeah, I read a lot. We get a lot of books. Alba reads. She's on a book right now. You want to tell them the topic of the book you're reading?
No.
She wants to keep it to herself. It's a secret. Water fasting is amazing. I did it 7 days the most. That's probably the cheapest, freest thing you can do to lose weight and address health issues. Do you use protein powder? What type? I use a whey concentrate, but I don't really go crazy with supplementing protein. I try to get it from food. How old did you have your first child? I was 24. Alba was 16. I'm joking. That was a joke.
That's 21.
Alba was 21. That's believable because she looks so young, right? I was 24. Day 2 is the worst, for fasting. I wanted to tell you that I love your glow oil. It is part of my skin care regimen.
Amazing.
She said, Alba says amazing, thank you. Where's little Manny? Manuel! I'm not crazy about putting the kids on camera, and I don't have social media and all that stuff, but I'm not like Nazi over it. Manuel! Come.
He said no.
He said no. Dominicans just celebrate both. You see, yes, Dominicans, they take both holidays. They'll be like, oh, they have 2 birthdays too. Come say hi, man. Can you do more cleaning videos? I suck at cleaning.
Manny doesn't understand because Manny is Puerto Rican. Say hi.
They want to
I
people there.
actually have more Puerto Rican viewers than I do Dominican.
I was like, you guys are so weird talking to a computer.
This is a writing pad for people. Look, show them. Show them how you write on it. Oh, they can't see. You can write on it and draw, and then it erases with a button. But there's no batteries, nothing electronic.
Somebody asked, why did you delete your Instagram? I like following you. Thank you, Brianna. He
had a lot of followers. He had like 3,000, and he had it for like a month.
I don't like social media. It bothers me. When I made the account, I figured I'd be doing something productive because I was finding out all this stuff. I was learning from Manny, and I just didn't want to get caught up in the whole social media trap, and then I ended up losing my father last year, and all these people were running to social media saying stuff, so I just deleted it was the last straw for me on social media. Where is that writing pad little Manny's from? So our kids don't play with iPhones and iPads, right? And we're learning a lot about circadian biology and how you shouldn't look at blue light at night, which is all your iPads and iPhones. So we found a pad for Manny that doesn't put out any light. There's no tech in it. He just draws on it and you press a button and it all erases. What's a good breast milk storage?
People are gonna think I'm extreme. A lot of people do when I say it, but I have never used the pump. She's never had a bottle, and so she just skin to skin breastfeed. So I don't have any storage for breast milk. One thing that my midwife told me when I first started breastfeeding, and it's so true, and I never really thought about it, and a lot of people don't think about it, is that sometimes we mentally set ourselves up for with storage and worrying about pumping and worrying about milk supply because it's so popular today, that we set ourselves up for failure in that state of mind. And when she explained that to me, it didn't make sense at the time because I just saw how common it was. But now that I just do it, there's something about I read the book of Ina May. It's a breastfeeding guide from the very famous midwife called Ina May. And in the book, it explains that there is a connection that a mother and a child has when you skin to skin breastfeed, where my body will just know that it needs to produce what it needs to produce for the baby because the baby's in need. So it's like a natural survival for mom and baby. So it made a lot of sense to me, and it didn't make sense until I started to experience that. And here I am, like 14 months into no bottle feeding and no pumping.
Did we get the baby checked for autism? No one's gonna pressure us. Trust me.
We said it before. We're not worried about that. It's she's already showing signs of being. She's met like all her milestones, and she's doing great. So there's nothing to worry about. We don't sign up to the view of autism being genetic. Mm-hmm. So we're just doing everything we possibly can in our control, right? That we can do. That's why we have water filters and all that stuff. And then from there, that's pretty much it. If there's anything that comes up, of course, we'll address it as we could. They asked about EMF. So when we first learned about EMF, it was a couple of years ago, and there's all these products online. But guys, do not fall for products. There's so much, like in the natural world, there's a huge industry. People are making so much money, and I'm just recently learning about all this stuff. Like people are selling things that don't really work. And that's not everything. It's not everyone, but it is very deceiving on this side. With the EMF cell phone case, there are phone cases that can block EMF. It's in my pregnancy routine video. I've showed a bunch of EMF items and coding, and I put the website on there. And there's a link to the EMF case.
But you have a free one. It's called airplane mode. That's it. It's free on your phone. Just shut it off.
I mentioned that in my night routine as well. My night routine video.
Yep. You don't have to spend any money. Don't order it from anyone. It's that simple. Could you write a book, Alba? I am not Dominican Republican. I never heard of that one.
Are you Dominican Republican? He is Puerto
Rican. Are you both? Yeah. The kids are half and half.
Yeah. He's Puerto Rican. I'm Dominican. And if you follow me on Instagram, we just came back from Puerto Rico, so we all have a major tan, especially little Manny, and he was burnt like crazy. He's still peeling. Somebody asked oh my goodness. Okay. So I'm not speaking on behalf of Alba, so I'm just going to say this. All right. Go ahead.
So people are asking on the thoughts of the measles outbreak. We actually lived in the area where this happened. And it's not lived. Yeah. And it's if you look at they're making a big deal about this. I don't know how you guys believe media and all this stuff. We don't really sign up. Well, I'm speaking on for myself. I don't sign up for media anymore. I found out that they're like the biggest liars in the world, and it's like they can't control themselves. So when I see that whole outbreak thing, they made a big deal about it. People are over here saying it's an outbreak, blah 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 blah. Okay, when you look at like the top 5 killers in America, or causes of death, measles is not up there. And can it turn into that? Okay, possibly, right? But nobody's really causing this panic for anything else, which there should be. Heart disease is a big killer, cancer, and all this stuff, and that's I don't want to keep going. Yes, I agree very much. I don't want to keep going on it because I don't, I was a public image, and she's a public figure, but it's a very sensitive topic. So we're just trying to protect our kids. That's it. Are you going vegan? Are you vegan again?
No, I'm not.
I
actually added #NotVegan on my bio on Instagram. And no one ever pays attention to it.
If you guys notice, she's the boss over here. She calls the shots.
Do you believe in the Bible? I grew up in a Catholic school for many, many years. So I didn't actually start reading the Bible till I was an adult, although it was a part of my schooling. I didn't actually start reading and understanding it till I was an adult. But we do believe in Jesus Christ, and but I don't categorize myself under the Catholic religion anymore, because I only did it when I was younger, because that's what my parents raised me to be. And they don't like the fact that I'm not considering myself that today, but I don't feel like it fits me. So I don't consider myself to be a Catholic.
Some tips on starting a YouTube channel.
Just do it and try to be yourself. That is very hard to do these days, because it's so easy to just do what you see others are doing. But the only way you can stand out is if you are yourself, and if you're doing something different from what everyone else is doing. So that is the best advice I can give towards a YouTube channel. Writing a book. I see a lot of comments on writing a book. I'm considering that, and not considering it, I should say I'm doing it. I have been doing, I have a lot of ideas on what I would want to do for a book, and I want it to be very different, and I want it to be meaningful. So yeah, I'm gonna, when I write a book, it's gonna be so different in the sense where I'm going to just let you guys have more of a personal side of me that I don't show on YouTube, because I can't, and it's not as comfortable to do so. But when it comes to writing is actually a passion of mine. For a while, I wanted to be a journalist, and that's one of my things from college. Are you still interested in making a natural brand of your own? Yes, I am. But it's not something that I just want to just do just because, and it has to be done right, with the right person, with the right team. So I'm also working on that behind the scenes that you guys don't see with my management. We have conversations about this constantly. We're talking to people constantly, but it has to be done so right. It's been years of talking about this and planning. So it's taken a long time, but eventually at some point, yes, I will have my own brand. Thank you guys for all the compliments. I'm seeing all your compliments. Yes, Alma loves my attention, because she's very, very attached to me, and she prefers to be with me over anybody. And if it's not me, then it's her father. What prenatals did you take? I took the new Chapter brand. They're food-based sourced vitamins instead of synthetics, so no synthetics. There's other ones out there, but it's in my pregnancy routine video. I linked it, and I didn't just take prenatals. I took other things as well, like chlorella, so that's in there as well, and I linked everything. When will this video stay? This is my first live stream, so I guess there's an option after I do this where it allows me to keep it posted. But yes, I plan on leaving it on my channel. Yes, I've said like a million times in this one chat, I'm not vegan, and I do not plan to be. Sí, le hablo español a los niños. Manny, mi hijo, habla mucho español. Y él se enseñó él mismo, leyendo y preguntándome muchas preguntas. Y hoy en día sabe, creo que casi igual que el inglés. Pero a Alma, I should say, ella solamente sabe cosas simples como ven acá, no haga eso. ¿Qué más? No toques. Sí, no. Have you found what? missed the question. Yes, going natural definitely impacts you from the inside out and your mentality in every way. How do you feel about keto? How do you feel about keto? Manny has his own opinion. I think keto, I can't speak from experience because I'm not someone who's been fully devoted to keto. But if I were to go on any diet or like follow anything, that would be one. But also paleo, there's this awesome documentary that I keep rewatching on Netflix called The Paleo Way. I really love that documentary. And Natasha McBride, Dr. Natasha McBride is in that documentary. And the reason I love that one, there's a lot of paleo and keto documentaries out there, but this is the only one I've seen that actually teaches you how to cook. So it's like a recipe type of thing, and they're cooking as they're talking about keto and sharing their stories individually with all these people. So it's a really good documentary. Like I've watched it like 5 times already.
The magic pill.
The magic pill is another great one. That one, it's high up there. So the magic pill you should watch first, and then the paleo way second. Because once you're convinced with the magic pill and all the information and all the facts that it provides, and the healing and everything, then paleo way gives you the inspiration and teaches you how to cook this way in your everyday life. I do plan on making cooking videos. Cooking is actually one of my new passions, and I'm not so confident in just like talking about it or sharing it yet, but I will get there because I really love cooking, and I upped my game on cooking lately for the past few months. Keto link. I don't know how to do links on here, and I don't want to mess anything up. I'm really like nervous about touching anything on the screen and messing it up. But it's on Netflix. The documentary, both of them are on Netflix. Magic Pill and Paleo Way. Yes, both are on Netflix. Magic Pill and Paleo Way are both on Netflix. Thank you for saying Alma looks like me, because if you guys see our baby pictures, so far, like since she's been born, she looks a lot like her dad's baby. Like they're identical. Her baby picture, same skin tone, nose, eyebrows, forehead. Her hair type is like his when he was a baby, but now it's kind of changed to be like an in-between of his and mine. So her hair is not exactly like his, but it's not exactly like mine. And then my son, same thing. It's more like my hair, but he has a looser curl pattern than me. It's not as tight as mine. And then Alma has a tighter one than I do. Thank you. Thoughts on ButcherBox? I've seen ButcherBox on Instagram. I don't know that much about it, but I think I follow them. I think they may be great. Do you know about ButcherBox? Do you know enough about them?
Yeah, ButcherBox. So we went to Puerto Rico. We couldn't find. There was a butcher out there, but we were staying in a hotel. Couldn't cook.
Next time we're gonna go into Airbnb when we go to Puerto Rico.
But we were thinking about getting a ButcherBox out there next time.
Yeah. So, thank you. Thank you. It's a coaster, wooden coaster. Yeah. The hardest thing about being a mom. The hardest thing about being a mom. I guess the worrying, the natural worrying, and and it's like, I think I could say the hardest stage is when they're babies in the beginning, because it's so demanding and consuming. But then it gets easier and easier. Well, in my experience, it's gotten easier and easier. And when they're like so small, that's the time where you want to devote a lot of time, because it goes by so quick. And you find a lot of parents that are, especially as a new mom, it's very different from the way I speak now to the way I used to speak back then. As a new mom, it was like, oh, I can't wait for him to start walking and doing all this stuff, and just becoming an adult already. Like I was trying to rush it. And now I'm the complete opposite. I don't want to rush her growing up. I want her to stay a baby. I take your time doing whatever, you're gonna do. I am not trying to rush you at all, and I don't want to rush the process of me like leaving her at any moment, because I don't want to leave her at all. I'm just as much attached to her as she is attached to me. So I guess that's the hardest part, managing having like a personal life and the kids, but I will always choose the mom life over having a personal life, especially at this young stage. Everything else can wait for later. It's not as important. Yes, little Manny is homeschooled. We'll see how live chats go, because this is my first one. Maybe I'll do one on Instagram next time. I wanted to do the first one on YouTube. I forgot where I was for a second. Oh, someone asked about how often I breastfeed her. I breastfeed her as much as she wants throughout the day, but she also eats food. Not like a lot of food, but she eats a good amount of food. Her biggest portions are during dinner. She eats a lot of food during dinner. She snacks throughout the day as well.
Someone there earlier, I forgot her name. I think it was Jennifer Flores. She
Good
said
memory.
I'm not sure if it was Flores, but she said she had a son with a child with autism, and she said that your videos inspire her.
Oh.
And all that. And
It's amazing how many messages we get. Well, I get like that often, especially on Instagram. Like, it's every day, and it's so incredible. I love hearing your stories as well. I love talking to you guys and relating, because we don't have a lot of people in our lives who have the same experience. So when I get to speak to you guys and you guys relate and tell me your stories and how it went for you and the things that you're trying, I love, when you guys share those things with me as well. But do you guys smoke natural marijuana? I read that it can be beneficial. I have never tried marijuana. He has, but I have never tried it.
I'm a bad responder to marijuana. I get paranoid a lot of stuff.
I don't know how I would react. I've been around people who do it, like when I was a teenager, but I don't know, not enough to like where I think I, like had, I don't know how to say, like I absorbed it. I don't know, but I've never tried it, so I can't say.
But like I was saying about supplements earlier, all these guys, all these companies are, they're selling and making money, and they're making claims that aren't exactly true. So with CBD is the next trend. It's like gonna be $1 billion industry. I was talking to my friend who works at one of those natural food stores, and he's like the manager of the supplement aisle. He speaks to all the companies. He said he nonstop gets calls from CBD companies, organic and all that stuff, and it doesn't mean that CBD is not effective. It just means watch out. Like it's not all created the same. There's a bunch of stuff. I'd rather be around people smoking marijuana and cigarettes. Very true. And let's remember,
I never heard of that. Marijuana cigarettes.
People used to accept cigarettes. Remember that? Pregnant moms used to smoke cigarettes.
Yes, there was a time where doctors used to prescribe cigarettes to mothers while pregnant, and people just took it because the doctor said it. And then they regretted it later on.
The industry is powerful, right?
There was a time where they actually believed it was healthy, and without having the proof or anything. And look at it. Look at where everything is now. Oh, she said I'd rather be around people smoking marijuana than cigarettes. Okay, I misunderstood that when I thought you were saying that there was this marijuana cigarettes. I don't know. I understood it that way. That's why I said I never heard of marijuana cigarettes. Now I get it. Do we ever eat out? Only when we have to. Like, it's not an everyday thing. But like when we were in Puerto Rico on vacation, we did eat out a lot there because it was the only option. But we did our best to try and find the cleanest places. I made a post on Instagram on all the clean, well, not the clean, but like the best places that we found in Puerto Rico that we enjoyed and had the organic element applied to their cooking and everything. So let's see, seeing a lot of the same questions. What were you sure about? What? Tips on adapting a healthier, conscious lifestyle in your 20s. It's tough when you're younger, because especially if you live with your parents still and you're the only one doing something in your household and no one else is like doing it. But if you live alone and you're in your 20s, kudos to you. And I would say to live more simply. Don't live, it's hard, right? It depends on how you're living your lifestyle already. Because if you are already a type of person that has a simple lifestyle where you're not necessarily minimalistic, that's what I'm trying to say. Try to be as minimalistic possible, because minimalism will help you save money and prioritize towards the things that you need versus the things that you want. Because when you just focus on the things that you want, you're constantly consuming things that aren't necessary. And when you are with that minimalistic mentality, you only invest into the things that you need. So therefore, you naturally have more money. For example, coffee. Make your own coffee in the morning and have reusable cups. You can take it to school with you. You can take it out with you. It's part of the zero waste lifestyle, which I'm not fully a part of, but I support certain things in it, like reusing things. And the way that you snack, you don't have to buy packaged items with the boxes and things like that and buy from the bulk section. You have more of it and it lasts longer. So that's something that I can say in your 20s. But it's tough. It depends on if you live at home with your parents, how much money you have at the time, if you have a job, if you're going to school. All of these factors really determine, for me to say more accurately, on the tips. Trying to read really fast. Do a video about eating healthy organic food on a budget. I should do a video on that. I've done a food haul, but it's not necessarily based on doing it while you're on a budget. Do you still use Dr. Mercola water filter? Yes, we do. We have a Mercola water filter.
No, we never had a Mercola water filter. Unless you're talking about a shower filter.
Shower filter is what I assumed they meant. Because they said, do you still use? Yeah, it's a shower filter.
No, we never had Mercola water filter.
I didn't even know he had a drinking water filter.
Name of your prenatal. What's the name of your prenatal?
Oh, I said, yeah, it's in my pregnancy routine. It's called New Chapter. And then somebody said, how is it going to Catholic school? Is it much different from being Christian? It's not that different from being Christian, because Catholic is a part of Christianity. It's just that the school has certain rituals and events that other schools don't have. And, you know, the way that they apply science, teaching, and everything. When I got to high school, which wasn't a Catholic high school, I wanted to go to a Catholic high school, but we couldn't afford it at the time. So I went to a non-religious high school, like a regular high school. And it is different. It's different in the way that they teach you and the things that we do every day. You know, we pray every single day. We have mass twice a week, and I have to go to mass on the weekends as well, on Saturday, which is the English version. In Spanish, I would have to go to the Spanish one on Sundays too, double, because my mom would make me. So I would go to both Spanish and English. So most of my day consisted of prayer and going to church. And we have religion class every single day in school as well. So there's certain things that are different.
What deodorant do you recommend?
Oh, there's a lot.
She wants me.
I just fed you.
I'll read it to you. I'll read it along.
Yeah.
Do you have deodorant?
There's a lot of so one of my favorite ones is called Air, AER. Manny doesn't like it because he said it burnt his underarms, but it was great for me and it's the best working one. It's from the brand called Vapor Beauty. So that's my favorite one so far. Vapor Beauty.
Toothpaste. What toothpaste do you recommend? Find a toothpaste that doesn't have fluoride.
Tell them right now I'm really liking David's.
Alba said she likes a brand called David's. I don't use that brand.
It's fluoride free and
It's fluoride free.
non-toxic and no SLS.
Somebody asked earlier, is tap water really that dangerous? Yes, there's a lot of garbage in tap water, and you hear people say all the time how clean certain city waters are. They add stuff to it, and it goes through pipes, it gets leached and all that stuff. So yeah, you want to filter it for the shower too, because your skin absorbs. When did Alma start eating finger food?
Around
4 or 5 months?
5 months, yeah.
Yeah, 4 or 5 months.
Small, like cheese and stuff like that, like small things.
Denelli said a good multivitamin for women and children. Alma's not on any multivitamin. We give her food. We try to get everything in food. We don't give her supplements.
Yeah, it's not necessary. And also, I'm still breastfeeding her, so tell them, explain that breastfeeding is also provided. Yeah,
that's the best multivitamin can give is breast milk. And then from there, obviously everyone can't breastfeed, so try to find the best for them. What deodorant do I use, Manny? Right now I'm using, what's the one you got me?
It's the healthy deodorant by the brand La Vanilla.
La Vanilla? It doesn't sound very masculine. But
healthy deodorant. The grapefruit one is the best.
But it does a job, and I sweat a lot, so it says something. Good probiotics, sauerkraut, raw yogurt, unpasteurized stuff it has bacteria. You just have to make sure it's coming from a clean source. Water filter is more affordable than AquaTrue. College student budget.
Tell them that I have a $100 discount that's coming soon.
But other than AquaTrue. So I was gonna have like $100 off. She's gonna give you guys a code when that happens. But also we used to find a store in Manhattan in New York City. We lived at the time, and it's called a Molecule. And they have all the filters there, and you just go and pick up whatever water you're gonna use throughout the week. Like go with a jug, gallon, whatever, and then you can go in and back and forth. And they used to charge like $20 a month, so it's really cheap. It was cheaper than getting bottled water at the time. But Whole Foods does it. They have reverse osmosis in Pennsylvania. I don't know if all Whole Foods does it, but some do. What's the misconceptions about soy milk? I don't think there's misconceptions. I think there's a lot of stuff out there that shows soy milk is no bueno. But what do I know, right? Trial and error, I guess. A lot of ticks in New York. Yeah, upstate New York, a lot of ticks. Citronella, I think, fights off a lot of ticks. Some doctors say that you can get something called a cystis T, cystis and canis. It stops it from certain bugs from biting you. Dairy milk is no bueno. All dairy is not equal, right? So I would not get dairy from the store, that's for sure. But all dairy is definitely not equal. We like Weston A. Price, and he was a vegetarian before he went on to find the things that he found about indigenous peoples. What do you guys think about the zero water? We never used it. Heard about it. My brother-in-law, he raves over it, but I've never used it. So do you guys drink almond milk, the Silk brand? No, we don't drink almond milk, any brand. What kind of milk does Little Manny drink? So Little Manny used to...
But tell them that if they want almond milk, they can make their own.
Yeah, we made our own a few times. It takes a lot of almonds, a whole lot of almonds. So yeah, in New Jersey, you can get raw milk if you go to a farm. Go directly to a farm, unpasteurized milk. Obviously, make sure no antibiotics, grass-fed. It's clean and all that stuff, and that's it. There's no middleman. You talk to the farmer. What did you do to this animal? Da da da. But all the people were clean there. They're drinking it. They're not sick. Da da. Would we ever go vegan? No, not me. And I wouldn't do it for the kids. It's for babies, not humans. Okay.
What?
I don't
You just said
know. Somebody said it.
Veganism is for baby people?
No, somebody wrote. I was reading out loud. What's the best coffee to drink in the morning? So I'm not somebody who. I don't think coffee is good. I drink coffee while saying that. But I don't think coffee is good for everyone. There's some people that I heard say that coffee it flushes out all your B vitamins, flushes out minerals, blah, 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 blah. I still drink coffee. I just make sure it's organic. I use filtered water. I make it myself. I try to do it in like stainless steel pots and all that stuff and glass, so no metals get in it. And I can't really drink coffee outside. When I do, it's because I somewhat feel like the coffee shop is using filtered water or something like that. How do you choose a career path to take? You're asking the wrong guy. A career path to take. How do you choose a career path to take? What's your opinion on that?
I think it has to be based on who you truly are versus what you think is, like there's some people that just do to pick a career path because like, oh, this makes the most money, so I'm just gonna pick this one.
Yeah, she's saying basically find a career that's most sustainable, like you're gonna be most fulfilled in life.
Yes.
And if you're young, you're not really, it takes time for you to learn things, right? To develop who you are and all that stuff. So, just make sure whatever you're choosing, don't let it be set in stone, but at the same time, make sure your intentions behind it aren't so much about money. Not saying that it is just, something that you might regret later on and something that makes you happy. That's what Alba was saying. Favorite oils to cook with. We use ghee, butter, coconut oil, olive oil. I'm not going to keep going on the whole organic thing. I'm pretty sure you guys get now that we're organic. The health practices in the blue zone areas. Chanel, great question. Yes, and I don't know, you hear all this stuff now about people being retracted, that this stuff hasn't been proven right, blah, 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 blah. But I am getting into the whole, like I said it earlier, the circadian biology. And when you eat local, right, when you eat whatever's in your range, you're exposed to the same, your food is exposed to the same light as that's in your latitude, right? So there's theories on how, based on physics, that plant that you're eating is, that's local. It's your body's not going to reject it, I guess. And then if you're eating a plant like a banana from Peru and you're in New York, it's not, it's gonna mess you up basically. Dr. Sebi and alkaline diets. So Sebi, the funny thing is Sebi, you hear it all over the place now, like keto, right? And I don't have problems with any of them. Keto, Sebi was right about a lot of things. I don't know what he was 100% on. I heard that he cured a lot of things, or he helped people overcome a lot of things. But he passed away not recently. It was a while ago, like a couple of years ago. And there's a lot of people who passed away too, who were in a similar field, if you get what I'm saying. So
Sebi just one of them.
Yeah, and I know he wasn't hurting anyone, that's for sure, right? But what part of Puerto Rico are you from, Manny? I'm from the part that's called Brooklyn. I was born and raised. Well, I was born and raised in Brooklyn. How are you so knowledgeable about health stuff? I don't consider myself a freaking knowledgeable person at all. I was an idiot. I was very far from being knowledgeable. My son was affected, and I was responsible. It was on my watch. I was supposed to make sure that he, thrived, and he wasn't doing healthy. I was feeding him crap, and he lost speech. He was evaluated at the age of 3 years old, and today he was diagnosed with severe autism, completely nonverbal. I don't know if you guys saw him earlier, but he said hi. He speaks now. He expresses himself verbally very well. He has a good vocabulary. We are still working on things, but that's why I know about Sebi and all these other stuff. It's because I had to look into a lot of this stuff in order to figure out what was going to help my son. Primo Water, I've never heard of it. Alba, they want a plant tour.
Yeah, actually, I want one.
Please, don't start her off with her plants. I can't stand plants in this house. She has them all over the place, and she treats plants better than she treats us. The money plant. Yeah, my sisters talk about it. My sister's a botanist, and she knows all about all these plants.
I do plan on doing a plant video and like giving tips on the best plants to get if you're a beginner, low light plants and all of that stuff, and where I get them from and things like that. So that'll be, I have to film that. I should do that for the summer, which is a perfect time.
Somebody said, would you guys ever get a pet? Going back to that parasite topic? Unless it's outdoors.
We would love a pet, but I always say it's like when we are settled in a home and we have a space for the pet. I don't like having pets in apartments. I don't think that that's fair to the pet. They need to be in their nature, you know, like do what pets do.
Somebody asked if we see you guys in person, is it cool to
Of course,
to
yes,
come
come
and say
say hi. I think it's weird if you don't say hi. That's the weird thing. Like there's a few times where I've said it before. I don't like where, like, let's say I go to a mall and I'm just being like stared at, like come and say hi, because I can't assume that you know me. I have to, you know, because then it's weird for me if you don't say hi. But if you do say hi, then it perfectly makes sense why you're saying hi. There's also been times where people like message me after you already saw me and said, "Oh, I saw you in this place," and I was too shy to say something. But then they give me a lot of details as to what I was doing, and then it makes me feel like I'm being watched or like spied on. So if you say hi, I'd rather you come say hi, because then we can talk and you'll see that I'm not a scary person. I'm the same way I am right now. I'll talk to you and say hello and thank you and be nice. I'm never mean to anyone. There's no need to be. What do we do on a daily basis? My days basically consist of being here and being a mom and not looking like this, looking like a hot mess, walking around the house and trying to clean up somewhat, but it never stays clean, and being with Alma, breastfeeding all day. Sometimes we go to the park. That's pretty much it. And then I, do videos sometimes and edit. Editing takes me days. I'm supposed to be editing right now.
I have some good questions there.
Yeah.
Pius, thank you. I try sometimes.
Drinking water filter to be used. AquaTrue. I'm going to share a discount with you guys very soon. It's already active, but I just have to have the right details in front of me to give you guys the exact information. But I'll be sharing that on my Instagram and on my YouTube channel at some point. The video I'm editing right now has the mention on it. The video I'm editing right now is 6 ways to transition into a natural lifestyle, and it's in there. So that'll be out soon. I'm still editing it. When do I plan on weaning Alma? I don't have any plans on weaning her right now. I don't agree with like putting on an end date on things. That's how, like, my midwife told me the same thing from the beginning. I mentioned this earlier in our live, where if you set your mind to think, okay, I'm going to experience low what do you call it? Low milk supply, for example. If you think that way and you start pumping right away, you set yourself up for it, it's gonna happen. So I feel like if I put an end date on it, at first, when I first started breastfeeding, I said 2 years. That's what I said from the beginning. But now I'm not saying that anymore. I've changed my mind on it. I'm just gonna allow her to wean herself. We'll see how it goes as she continues to get older and eat food, as she continues to eat food, and see how it goes. But if I make it to 2 years and I stop then, it'll be okay. As long as it goes, if it goes past 2 years, it's fine as well. We'll see.
How do you guys filter out the research and you find? Because there's a lot of weird crap on the internet. Yeah. You see that word research? It's Alma, caca. It's used so lightly. Like people look at the back of a bottle or something for ingredients and say I did research. But it's, to me, trial and error, right? Like, be your own lab rat. That's what I do, and I'm the lab rat in this house. If it doesn't work, I found out, on my own, and that's it. That's my role here. Someone's asking, do you think titanium dioxide and zinc oxide are bad and carcinogenic? Some clean products you use during E and 100% pure have these in their products. What's your stance on that?
What I've looked into is with titanium dioxide, not all are equal. I don't know if you can hear me. So from what I've looked into, is that not all titanium dioxide is equal. Some of them are worse than others. Some of them have added synthetics, so it makes a different component. There is a naturally derived version, but they're all given that same name. So you just have to look into the brand and which one is safe, and look at how clean that ingredient is. But I do know that they're not all derived equally.
Zero waste. We're the opposite of zero waste.
You're saying the opposite of what I've been saying this entire video now.
I throw out trash. There's a lot. We have a lot of trash every day.
He explains it in a more extreme way. What I've been saying throughout this entire live, which is the opposite of what he's saying, is that I respect the zero waste, and we do implement a lot of things from zero waste naturally into our lifestyle, like the way that we reuse bottles and not consuming things just because. We buy things that are significant, and we try not to just produce too much trash in those senses. But I mentioned
coming down, honey.
There it goes. Sorry, this is live. I mentioned how I really admire Lauren Singer from Trash is for Tossers. Check her out.
Somebody said, when did you guys meet and how did you guys meet each other?
We met 12 years ago, right? 12 years ago. We met 12 years ago as we both, I worked at Abercrombie & Fitch, 5th Avenue, New York, and he was the new guy, the new hot guy, who was a model. And it was his training day, and I was a part of his training. I was helping my manager train new people, and he was one of them. That's how we met, and I thought his name was Miguel. His name is Manuel, but there's like 20 people in one training group, and so I thought his name was Miguel. I knew it was something Spanish. So like the next time we saw each other at work, he comes and says, "Hi, Alba," and I'm like, "Hi, Miguel." Yeah.
How many toys
does
your children have?
They have a lot. This is Alma's toy area here.
It's not a lot, really.
It is a lot.
I don't think Manny has a lot of books.
Alma doesn't have as much as Manny, but Manny has a lot. He has 2 big bins in his room, like the toy storage thing from IKEA. He has 2 of those filled up with toys, but they're all like non-technology based toys. No blue light and like no screens and things like that. Yes, 12 years is a long time.
Do you guys feed with baby food or normal?
No, like I guess they mean baby food, store-bought food. No store-bought, we make it ourselves. So when she is eating food, it's made by us.
Sandy asked, do you guys use crystals and sage?
No.
We're not really familiar with a lot of that stuff. I'm not saying it doesn't work. We haven't looked. We haven't. There's so much, right? Thank you guys. And I wanted to say thank you from what I see, from what Alba shows me, and the response you guys give to her. Crazy positive group, and you guys support her and make her feel good doing what she does. And I don't know if you guys are aware, but when we left. We used to live in Brooklyn, New York, and when we left, I stopped working. So it was just Alba doing all her stuff on YouTube and traveling and doing all that stuff. So thank you guys for watching her videos and supporting her and all that stuff, because that's how we buy water filters. That's how we try to eat organic.
It's because of you guys that we're able to make a living and live well and take care of our children, because you guys are helping us provide.
Yeah, thank you very much. And that's another thing with I was telling Alba to try to get this live stream done, because she does a lot of her schedule right now. Yes, baby. I think she wants something.
Yeah, she's getting tired,
Yeah,
so we're gonna be ending this any minute now.
But she tries to juggle. Alma's obviously attached to her, and she's trying to go through this process.
Look, that's you crying. That's you complaining.
She knows. She's like, no, now. That's
you complaining.
But yeah, at the end of the day, thank you guys. I appreciate it. I know I'm not on social media to say all this stuff, but thank you. She is mama's girl. Oh my goodness. She will cut somebody for her mother.
She literally will.
What do people think about you using cloth diapers?
Nobody says anything bad.
Can you tell me how you got into buying straight from the farm? Not sure if you mentioned it.
Check out West Any Price. They have a location listing.
Yes, honey. Realmilk.com. And then they have farms that have they have certain standards. It has to be grass fed and no antibiotics and all that stuff. And then you type in your zip code, and it'll show you whatever is closest to your area.
This is one of the cool toys we got at Puerto Rico, and I've been obsessed with it. You go like that, and you're supposed to make it inside the little hole. And I've been doing it every single day, and I get it in 5 times. So this is the type of toys that we get for the kids. Brain enhancing toys. This is my left hand.
Somebody asked, how do you know when you feed her food and when you should breastfeed?
Something you naturally know as a mom. She's also one, so she lets me know. If I'm eating something, I give her, because we pretty much eat the same. And when she wants breast milk, it's usually for her when she's tired. That's nowadays. Now that she's no longer like an infant little baby, I know that she wants breast milk when she's tired, and that's her automatic thing. Breast milk is like medicine for her. And if she gets hurt, breast milk. If she's cranky, breast milk. If she's tired, breast milk. That's how it works.
Okay. Alma's saying good night, guys.
Yes,
basically.
We have to end this.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions here that you missed out.
I would be able to go on for 3 more hours with you guys, but it is 8:16 in New York right now, so.
Hold on, Manny's gonna say goodnight too. Manuel, come books. So right now it's getting dark. We're gonna get weird and put on weird glasses and all that stuff.
And all the light is gonna go away.
Manny, come. You're gonna come say goodnight, and then you get your glasses.
Yeah, come say goodnight, and then you can go back. Good night.
Come.
Stay over here so they can see good night. Good night.
Wait, somebody name a country real quick. Any country.
Manny, what's your favorite country?
Wait. No, we're gonna let them name it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, someone name a country. Let's see.
Random country. Anyone? Country?
Yes.
One country?
It's coming.
Panama. Manny, he might get this.
Okay, wait, hold on. Manny.
Morocco?
Where is Morocco?
No.
This one. No, not in the page. Where is Morocco in the map? You think Gizmos.
Yeah. Manny, what's the capital of Mexico?
Mexico City. And what about Panama? What's the capital of Panama? Panama City. Is it really?
I don't know. You guys are going to have to fact check them.
What about Nicaragua? Nicaragua? Managua.
What's the capital of Australia, Manny?
Canberra.
And the capital of Brazil?
Brasilia.
It is
It
Brazilian?
is. Yes, that's true.
Yeah, this kid taught himself geography.
What about India?
Oh, he's
What's the
getting
capital
used
of
to
India?
Charge.
Capital of India?
New Delhi.
New Delhi.
I was thinking about it.
Good job.
Okay,
Go
good
get your
job. You don't
glasses.
have to answer anymore.
Wait, real quick before we cut off, somebody said, I also have an older son on the autism spectrum and pregnant with our second 10-year age gap. Is the age gap challenging all for you?
We have an 8-year gap, and it's actually helpful. Okay, Mama. Look, she was calm when
Okay.
Manny was here, because Manny helps.
I'll try to end it.
Huh?
Try to end it because she didn't start crying.
You're gonna try to end it?
Well, I'm gonna end it.
Okay.
Answer the girl.
I forgot what I was saying.
She was asking about the age gap. She has a
Oh
child
yeah,
with
it's
autism.
actually helpful because since he's older and more independent, it's less stressful for me because he's able to do a lot of things on his own, as opposed to having 2 small children that need a lot more attention. He's okay with not getting as much attention from me, and he helps me, like, when we go outside, he carries bags, he carries my bag, he helps me with diapers, he'll get the diapers for me, he'll help me with her bath time. He's just, because he's so independent, he's so involved and is so helpful when it comes to her. And his understanding when she needs a little more attention because she's a baby, he understands that and he just steps off and he's patient enough to wait for it. And only a mature child can do that. If you have like a 3-year-old, they're not gonna understand that a smaller baby needs that special attention that they had as well. But an older child can be helpful and understand that. So that's what I have to say about that.
Manny wants to show you guys his nighttime glasses. Come, bud.
Look, show them your nighttime glasses. It looks like a Cyclops.
Hancock, the cover of Hancock, Will Smith. Thank you guys again. So nice.
Bye. Thanks for hanging out with us. Time for bed.
Good night.
Good night. Bye.